folks, it's Lindsey Hustle with SPS back in the building over at Renaissance High School, home of the Phoenix. I'm here with the new head Phoenix in charge, Coach Dashaun. How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, man, congratulations to you on taking over such a storied program and where people either may know or may not know, man. You was just out there on the hardwood getting in playing professional just a little while ago.
Yeah, not too long ago, 3.5 years, fresh out of being overseas. So this is a great opportunity for me to come home and still be a part of the game that I love so much. Having a little bit of time off made me miss it. So now I'm glad to just be back a part of it.
I mean, but talk about the uniqueness of being a professional male athlete, but coming back and coaching young ladies in particular. You know, I think that's unique. Is that unique?
I think for me, I get that question asked a lot, like by girls, but I'm like, these are all our kids, you know, girls or boys. They all need information. They all need to get to the next level. They all need to develop. So for me, boys or girls, the court is still the same. The height is still the same on the rim. So I'm just glad to be back here.
And it's fortunate for, and the reason I pose that question, I'll follow up by saying, even us having this interview is based on the same thing, because the last few seasons I would be really boy heavy with my interviews, but this time I'm like, look, man, I got to get the girls.
Exactly.
You know, and I always get such a different perspective when I talk to them. So just if you stepped out to make that, you know, I'm doing the same thing, that gives me opportunity coming to
the game grows. You know, the more light we can shed on it, the more people get in tune and dial in on it. So I appreciate you as well, you know, putting light on it. So.
Sure. I had a young lady, I was in Lansing. I'm a proud Detroiter, but I'm in East Lansing. And a young lady, she said, some of the girls play better than the boys anyway. I was like, you right.
And they got a good attitude. You know, that's one thing I like about coaching girls. They're willing to learn, willing to try new things, willing to understand and accept the role they have. So there's some girls to it as well.
Yeah, I get that. You know, I was talking to the young ladies, and they consistently said this thing. Joining this team or being on this team, it was so welcoming. You know, talk about fostering that kind of environment. Shout out to Coach Shane, who you transitioned with, but I'm sure he played a role in creating a culture. But what is it like keeping that kind of welcoming environment going on?
Well, you know, the thing about Renaissance is this program has been successful for over 20, 30, 40 years, you know, and Coach Shane, as the last coach being here, I'm just trying to keep it going, keep the train on the tracks, if you want to say, you know, but just keeping the culture and the environment a place where they can adapt and want to be, you know, I think is the most important, and I think that's the culture that's been created here. That's why I think when he left, none of the kids left, because the culture and the program was already established, and they like being with each other, so it kind of made it easy for me. So, you know, I'm just thankful we got a good group of kids that work hard, because if it was the other way around, when you take a losing program over, you have way more obstacles to overcome. So I'm just glad I didn't have to deal with that part.
You said a lot of interesting things there. You know, just the last part, when you take a losing program over, you think about it, it's most losing programs that opportunities become available at. So most times you're dealing with that mindset. But also, too, I'm going to use some of the words of Chris Sanders said on her earlier. She said for her, she doesn't feel pressure. She just feels expectation. So I was going to ask you that. You said, you know, it's a little bit easier, but how is it with the fact that, hey, it is the Renaissance program and they have been successful so long, et cetera, et cetera?
You know, the model I really live by, and I've been living by since I've been playing, you know, if this was easy, anybody would do it. And with the bigger the school, bigger the name, the bigger the expectation. So that's a challenge that I'm willing to accept. That's a fight I want to fight. And when you put the hard work in and the dedication, you're going to get the results you want. So this isn't the first time I've came across this, especially being overseas, where you're playing check to check, job to job, and it's 1-year contracts. You're constantly like, you know, trying to show yourself off to scouts and other teams. So this is nothing different, you know. I like it this way, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, wow. You know, and I think it's only fair for our viewers to get a little bit more about your background. I mean, you're a champion. You were part of the Crockett teams, the Rob Murphy teams, and whatnot. Talk about, you know, being part of high-level basketball at that time, but also being one of the few to be able to continue to play collegiately and, of course, professionally. Just talk about that little run in that space.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me is you know, I wasn't ranked early. Everything I had to get started from the bottom. and had to build my way up. So right now,
why you didn't quit, Coach? I couldn't help. Why you didn't stop, man? You're not ranked early, and guys getting ranked. And I mean,
well, that's what gets you the motivation, is to show people that I can do this. And even now in this situation, it's like new coach, never coached girls before, and all these doubters and things. We just want to show them that we can get this thing done right. But nothing's easy in life. It don't matter what you do, So you got to keep fighting, keep working hard, believe in yourself. I mean, people gonna talk if you win or lose.
Yeah.
So my main focus is on just making sure I'm doing what I need to do. The girls are doing what they need to do, and at the end of the day, everything else is going to take care of itself.
Simple but yet powerful. People are going to talk whether you win or lose, but we get so caught up in the prison of other people's conversation because we're worried about what they're going to say instead of just focusing on. Did you always have that mindset, or did that evolve over time?
I just always believed in myself. So, people have been talking. Like I said, I played in the PSL. So this has been going on for a long, long time. So it's nothing really new for me. It's just putting in the work, trying to meet the expectations. But more importantly, the girls meeting their goals and the dreams that they want to do. They want to go to school. They want to win championships. And that's really why I'm here, to make sure they can achieve those goals, because I've been through it. I've been D1, won a championship on the college level, won professionally, won a championship there. So I have the tools and the formula to give to them. Now I just got to find a way to make sure, they can trust me and believe what it is I'm trying to teach.
Wow. So you got the skills. How do you help build the trust?
Well, that comes over time. You can't just walk in the building and think people are going to believe you and listen to everything you're doing.
Just off your resume.
Exactly. But as you build the time, the relationship happens, and when you start to put things in and they see some results, then maybe they say, this guy might know what he's talking about. So it's not a rush job. There's going to be bad days, good days, but you just hope you have more good days than bad, and you get good results. And over time, they start to see that their game is improving and they're getting wins, and then we all come together and like what we see.
Man, you see why there's been success here, and there's going to continue to be success. Man, I'm blown away. I'm happy to meet you. I feel good for the young ladies coming in contact with you. But your message, generally speaking, is good. Last thing, I get calls from D1 coaches saying, hey, man, I need you to talk to the guys about what they need to be doing before they get here. What are the common misnomers that athletes have? I know.
Man, we can spend a whole topic on that. But the biggest thing for me is just making sure our kids understand how to play structured, organized basketball. Okay, because a lot of times when they get to the D1 level, they're not shooting step backs or Steph Curry threes or playing outside of the offense. You got to actually be able to stand tough, stand triple threats, run the offense, play defense, be a good teammate, have discipline. You got to have those things, because on that level, it's a lot on the line, including coaches' jobs and winning and keeping the program, the culture going. So I just want our kids' mindset and our structure of the knowledge of the game just to grow, so when they get there, they're ready for the challenge.
Yeah, outstanding. And lastly, I'll say this. What I love about your answer, along with the substance you had, you didn't say play the right way, which is so subjective. Yes. Playing the right way is, there's a certain way of attitude, but you said organize and structure, and then you follow up a great example. Everyone's not shooting a step back three coming in.
Even those guys, the high level of stuff, they didn't just jump there overnight.
Oh, yeah.
David Leonard started at Lehigh at a small school and had to go through the process. So we hope at one day your games is there, but it's still a process you have to go through to get there. So once they go through that process, there's no doubt in my mind, they could get what they want.
And speaking of the step back king, Steph Curry, shout out to Derek Coleman, who was a teammate with Dale Curry, and he said Steph used to be going through the drills at 10 years old. Yeah. So what these young people are seeing, they want to shoot like Steph. Steph's been a pro. He's been around that. So it's not the same. So we're not the same, right?
Exactly.
Coach, you're right. We could have a whole new episode on that, man. I appreciate you coming back. I appreciate you giving back. And last thing, who you want to shout out before we let you go?
Let's just shout out the whole Detroit, man. It's the holidays. Want to wish everybody a happy holiday, safe holiday. Hope everybody eat good, live good, enjoy your loved ones, man. That's what it's all about right now.
Man, number love here. I want to give a special shout out to my guy Larry Moore over at North Brothers 4. He was my former teammate at Henry Ford High School, and because of his support, we're able to come in here and talk to the young ladies and the young men. Hey, it's going to be a great time over at Renaissance High School basketball. With that being said, Lindsey Harrison with SPS. See you next time. Peace.